Okay, we're at the Grandview Trailhead. It's probably about 5:30 or so, about 32 degrees. We're going to go down Grandview Trail, the Horseshoe Mesa, down Cottonwood to the Tonto. Starting our trip over the Grandview-Tonto-South Kaibab loop. The trail in the upper levels here is a little narrow and quite a few switchbacks. My pack weighs about 32 pounds. That includes water and food. I kept it to a minimum as far as clothing goes. I don't have a sleeping bag. I just have a tent, a bivy sack, and a space blanket. And that should be enough for these nights, which will be about, I'm thinking, upper 40s, maybe 50 degrees. I just came across a couple hikers coming up. Two guys of a party of 4 just tried to do the Grandview-Tonto-South Kaibab loop and had to turn around because there was no water at Boulder. They were hoping to get water at Boulder. Did report, though, water in Cottonwood, and of course water at Grapevine Spring, so that should be no problem. But this stretch out Boulder through Lone Tree, it's going to be dry. I have water that someone was nice enough to cache for me at Cremation. When the time comes, I might try and do that stretch at night under the full moon, stay out of the heat of the day. Now, you probably can't see it with the GoPro, but it's just starting to get a little bit light on the horizon. I see Desert View Watchtower over there. I actually just sat down on my bottom and rolled on some pebbles, and pack took me right down. Everything's fine though. Just gotta take your time. Alright, so we're coming up on the saddle up here, walking on some coconino slabs, kind of angled into the cliff, which is nice. And right by the saddle is where this little cobbled section of trail reminds you of the Hermit Trail. And Hance Creek is off to our right. Well, past the saddle, this section of trail is really nice, pretty flat, good footing, and nice view. Starting to get a little light out. And this is approaching the second saddle or notch, and I think this is where it separates between Hance and Cottonwood. More cobbled section on this steep descent to the second notch here. I just have to remember to settle down and go slow and easy, especially in the beginning of the hike. I got a long trip ahead of me, and don't want to rush it and burn out too soon, too early. Just got to take it easy. Horseshoe Mesa right out here, and we got Angel's Gate over on the left there. Just a beautiful morning. Well, we're down into a more reddish layer here, so must be entering the Hermit Shale soon. Still got cobbled trail bed here, steep. And here's the second saddle or notch. Looking down into Hance. Horseshoe Mesa, and looking down into Cottonwood Canyon here. So we got more cobbled steep descent here after a nice flat section. Yeah, pretty steep here. Well, finally out of those cobbled steep descent, and now I think I'm out of them anyway. Maybe not. Should be starting to traverse pretty soon. No, we got more cobbles. Well, there's the east arm of Cottonwood. Junction with the Tontos down there is supposed to be a water source that's fairly reliable. We're getting there. Now we have a little bit more of a flatter trail here on this traverse, coming down to the neck of Horseshoe Mesa pretty soon. Just past the last of 5 guys there at the end of doing the Escalante route, going up to Grandview Point. 4 nights they did from Lippin Point all across. Most of the water they got was from Colorado, but I guess Page Spring is running. But reports is that there was a collapse there not that long ago, I guess, and water is a little harder to collect, but it still could get water there. Now we're flattening it out a little bit as we reach the Mesa. Still looking for any mine adits that are here. I did pass some colorful looking rocks. There's some colorful looking rocks here. Probably some more coming up here shortly. Just about approaching the neck of the Mesa. Out in the sun for the first time. Let me see what time it is. I took it nice and slow coming down here. It is 8:15. Started around, I don't know, 5:45 or something like that, 5:30. So, going nice and slow at the start here. And here's a sign for Horseshoe Mesa and the campsites. Page Springs and Hance Creek to the right. Alright, we're heading this way. Gonna take a break over here at the cook's cabin. Have some breakfast and then head down Cottonwood. And here's a sign for Cottonwood Creek. Gonna go down that way, but first gonna go up to the cabin here, take a look at it, take a break, maybe use the restroom, and see how it goes from there. And here's the cabin. With some shade over here. Take a little break. Yep. A few little artifacts laying around. Beginning the descent down into Cottonwood. I think I'm on the right side of the trail, or right side of the canyon here. And this is looking down into Cottonwood Canyon here. You can see the cottonwood trees in the distance. Probably can't see it on the GoPro, but got some greenery down there. Still in the shade. We'll be in the shade for a while here. Well, I crossed Cottonwood Creek and that descent was really bad as far as loose stones. Feet were slipping out from underneath me all the time. Looking down into Cottonwood Creek here, there's Angel's Gate up there. It's beautiful. A lot of bees here at this shrub that's in bloom. Alright, so I came upon the Tonto Trail here. Oops. Be heading to the right here. So I found this good boulder here with some shade behind it. Was able to take a long break, send a text message, and dry out my socks. Coming out of the west arm of Cottonwood. That's looking back up to the rim. I guess we probably came from there, Grandview Point. That's got to be it there. Ooh, baby. Oh, looks like we're getting pretty close to the inner gorge here. Working our way out of Cottonwood. Slowly. A little warm. Probably in the 80s, I'm thinking, mid 80s. The sun is pretty strong. Every once in a while the breeze is cool. It's October 13th, heading out to the first night's camp. First view of the river, nice and green. A little riffle down here. Coming up on the Old Grandview Trail trailhead. And here's the Old Grandview Cairn. So just passed a group of 6 people that they hiked this down to the river and back, and they said that it is very doable and well cairned right now. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Now I gotta find some place to camp. Do a little 360 shot from the Grandview Cairn. Angel's Gate right here. Wotan's Throne, Vishnu. Rain in the desert. Sun shower. Gotta love it. Yeah, so the traverse of the west side of Grapevine is along this narrow little edge. A lot of loose ground here, and it's sloping toward the abyss. Still contouring along the west side of Grapevine. Not getting any better yet. Boy, it's a long canyon. Holy moly. It's like 5 miles from here to there. Okay, so it's the morning of the 15th, and last night I got water at Grapevine Springs. Took a long time. The water was flowing very slow, and so I collected about 2.5 gallons of water, and then continued on to the east arm of Grapevine and camped here on the slick rock in the wash. What I'm going to do is hang out here today and rest up a bit, and then head out late afternoon once it starts getting a little cooler and the sun gets lower, and I'll head over toward Boulder and Lone Tree and see how far I can get before I set up camp again. Just trying to conserve the water a little bit by hiking at night, and trying to just stay in the shade as much as I can today and just rest up. Beautiful views in here. I had a raven visit me this morning trying to pick off some stuff, but he was unsuccessful, so he went on. That's it. No animals, no mice yet or anything, so everything's been pretty quiet. And no people. So about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the 15th, and broke camp from east branch of Grapevine and heading west. Gonna go as far as I can tonight. Gonna be a full moon, or almost a full moon. It's gonna be coming up a little bit later, like 7 something. I think it rises. Illuminate everything pretty good. Just gotta get around Grapevine. Hopefully get out to the point while it's still light I can see the river. Really cool little shelf here. Several shelves. This is still coming out of the west arm of Grapevine. There is a little trickle of water down in the west arm there. Still heading out. A lot of bays to go in and out of. Still not out of Grapevine yet, but starting to get some views, so gotta be getting close. Yeah, this trail is right on the edge here. Nice big drop. I can hear Grapevine Rapids. Sorry about the wind. Oh, almost out of Grapevine, coming up to point 3808. It is a long way. The sun is nice and low, it's starting to get cool. Hopefully I can get into a rhythm here. Got a nice campsite right out here on the point. That would have been beautiful. Wow. Guess I could always do it. Now I'm gonna push on. Oh wow. I see more of the river down here. Whew. Very cool. Heading out of Boulder. It's a little after 6 o'clock. Had a good night there. Stayed in one of the campsites right along the wash. And yeah, it was good. No critters bothered me last night at all, although there were a lot around. So, moving on. Coming out of Boulder, going into Cremation, or Lone Tree, then Cremation. And that's where I spent the last night. Coming out of Boulder, the trail is really braided and confused through here a little bit. So it said to just pick your path and head towards the saddle up here. Head north towards the saddle. And here's the trail. But it goes in and out, it's braided. So just have to keep on the lookout for it. Imagine it'd be hard to do this at night. Coming out of Boulder. Looks like a little drier territory here. There's a lot of prickly pear. Heading toward Cremation. Sorry about the wind noise. Let's come up this knob here, and the Cremation amphitheater opens up before you. Ooh, baby. So, got Zoroaster on this side, north side over there, and swing around. Oh, off in the distance, Yaqui Point up here. You can see Skeleton Point, Cedar Ridge, O'Neill Butte. Familiar territory now. Got to get into Cremation. Coming up on middle arm of Cremation. That was the descent into the western arm, and now we're in the western arm. This is the last camp before hitting the South Kaibab. It's about 11 o'clock or so. Just gonna follow the shade. It's looking down the West Fork, and this is looking up toward where the trail crosses. Beautiful polished stone in here. Look for a place to pitch the tent. I was hoping to do it on some flat slabs, but I didn't see too much real flat.